Welcome to Mostly Disturbing Fables. Each week we bring you a new disturbing fable from the archive. Before we get to creeps, I must warn you, our fables are indeed disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Come here. Don't be shy. Mostly disturbing.
Everything Seems to be Gray by Zebulon Patchen. Another perfect day in the Pacific Northwest. Gray, cloudy, and cold. When did it get so gray? The thought echoed through the damp ferns and mighty coastal redwoods. It didn't used to be like this. I have vague memories of walking through lush, colorful forests. What is the name of that bright color, of the mushrooms that litter the forest? Red? Yes, that's the one. Red. Whatever happened to red? I made my way along the dark gray path dotted with light gray shrubs. This trail had always brought me such great comfort. But now, suddenly aware that something was wrong, I felt anxious. A man jogging along minding his own business passed me by. "Hey buddy, what color is this walking stick?" I asked, even though I knew the answer. "It's gray, of course." The man scrunched his face in bewilderment. "Well, it used to be, brown, I think." I struggled against myself to remember the color. His face dropped, and he stared at me with twinges of aggression fighting past a look of confusion. "Brown? Who ever heard of such a thing?" He backed up in disgust. Maybe I was losing it. After all, everything is gray. I had gotten lost in my head again. The man looked at me with a mixture of confusion and concern. "I'm sorry to bother you." I ducked my head in shame and stepped back onto the path. I was alone in this. I sat at my desk, fingers on the keyboard, ready to search the internet for answers. "What is red?" I typed into goodsearch.net. "Did you mean, what is read?" the search engine prompted. Let's try something else. I typed in, "What is color?" which yielded much better results. I found a pie diagram of the color wheel. 18 distinct shades of gray filled the wheel from darkest to lightest. I continued my search through page after page of gray scales and how to pick the perfect gray for your interior paint. Physicist Alfred Rosenberg's Hypothesis of Color, read the title of an article on nationalpeerreview.gov. Alfred hypothesizes that color beyond the grayscale must exist, and that some bird species may be able to see them. He is currently working on mapping those frequencies and trying to assign them names. I slammed the laptop hard in anger. These colors do exist. I remember them. "Try red," I growled. I dreamt in color, or at least I think I dreamt in color. Blurs of deep purplish red tree bark, birds with colorful wings, and glowing flowers. I woke up to the gray, plain, real world. Tears dripped from my still face. It was the kind of intense cry that leaves people sitting in an awkward silence, unsure of how or if to intervene. I was alone in this dull gray world, the only one who seems to remember what the world used to be. Food lost its taste. Music sounded flat and garbled. I went through the motions each day, hoping against everything that this Roijabiv purgatory would suddenly end, that maybe I would get out early on time served. The color had to have gone somewhere. Was it hiding in the void between the black of shadows? Was it lurking in some forgotten space in our minds? More digging on the internet turned up a post on the forum Reddit, on a subreddit called Strange. The title of the post read,
Has anyone else noticed everything has turned gray?
which caught my eye immediately.
Hey Reddit, has anyone else noticed that everything is gray? I started noticing it a few months ago. Not really sure when it happened, but I distinctly remember there being color at some point. At first it didn't bother me. I figured it was normal, just a part of life. But now I'm not so sure. DM me if you've had a similar experience. I'm feeling alone in this.
The post read. The comments were vicious. They argued that there must be something wrong with OP. Everything has been gray. Nobody's ever even heard of this color you keep going on about, one comment read. Off yourself. Maybe you'll see color again, another one read. I reached out to OP immediately, hoping for a companion in this dull gray world. She replied almost instantly.
OMFG, I hope you aren't a troll. Everyone has been so mean about this.
Our text conversation went on for a few hours. I found out her name is Megan, and that she lived about 30 minutes from me. After discovering how close we were, we decided an in-person meetup would be the best. We talked for hours about the blue sky and the rich browns of the desert sand. The conversation shifted to why and what. We both felt the overwhelming numbness this gray world left us with.
I mean, we can't both be nuts, right?
She asked. A deep frown formed on her face, as if it was her natural state. I thought it was just me until I found your post. There has to be more of us. I felt tears drip down my face. The numb dread rose again, replacing the jubilation of finding someone like me. Over and over we posted on Framebook, Reddit, and various blog sites for the paranormal, but no one else came forward. We spent every free moment together hoping against hope that we would find something, anything. I had the idea that we should start mapping out everything we remember. She agreed. We met up on a Friday at a local noisy coffee shop. The place was packed with gray people aimlessly drifting in and out of conversation in the plain gray room. I had started to imagine what color things could be. At first I struggled hard to even remember which color was which, but now I could almost recite the entire rainbow. I imagined the odd shapes of gray melting away and tan flesh tones taking over. I felt emotions rip through me. I missed normal. I missed color. As we sat talking, I watched the gray people, imagining blue striped polo shirts and khaki pants. For a second my mind deceived my eyes. A man standing in the back corner sipping on his coffee flashed into focus. His gray skin wasn't gray. I looked at him, trying to gather myself. Was that imaginary? I stared hard, concentrating on what he looked like. And again, for just a second, I saw his shirt, like a beacon of color, flash green. "Hey, do you see that guy?" I whispered across the table, discreetly pointing him out.
Yeah, what?
She said, side-eyeing him. I think I might be going crazy, but I was interrupted by her gasp.
Holy shit, he lit up like a Christmas tree for a second.
I felt the excitement rush through me. We were cavemen discovering fire. The man snapped his head directly at us. Our gawking must have drew his attention. "Shit fuck," I exclaimed, whipping my head down at the table.
He's coming over, shh,
she growled under her breath. The man's body language was stiff and jerky. His voice was silky and sort of comforting. "Is there something I can help you with?" he asked. The cadence of his voice was bumpy and uneven, but warm all the same. "No, sorry, we just thought you looked like someone we knew," I blurted out, my vocal cords constricting. He looked deadpan into my eyes. The gray aperture of his pupils rapidly changed color. His demeanor changed in an instant, as if he had noticed something behind my eyes. "Don't go poking around where your nose doesn't belong," he hissed under his breath of which smelled similar to the inside of a volcano. We ditched the coffee shop quickly. The man watched us leave, suspicion clear on his face. "That was pretty weird, huh?" I asked as we made our way onto a crowded street of gray people doing gray things.
You saw it, didn't you?
Her question leaked out from her morose expression. I nodded. Her acrimonious tone squeezed my vocal cords. We were stuck here. No hope of seeing color, cursed in this strange gray existence. I found myself scanning day in and day out, looking for flashes. Neither of us saw that man again. My brain started playing tricks on me. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw a flash of color here or there, reminders of my miserable gray life. We decided one dull gray morning to take a trip to the forest hiking trail near my house, the one I had walked for years enjoying the colors and sounds of Mother Nature. I hoped, beyond hope, that I could recapture what I used to love so much. But sadly, the walk was filled with gray trees and gray dull birds. We left feeling betrayed by the memories we desperately clung to. Just beyond the head of the trail, we heard some awful commotion. There, 10 feet off the path, a woman was being arrested. She was screaming something, a set of numbers. Her desperate and unyielding voice matched my soul, lashing out at the numb core of my spirit bound in gray.
3910 north by 12050 west, she
screamed while thrashing. We got closer, watching with fascination. The woman's blue-gray eyes met mine.
I have been there! 3910 north by 12050 west! You have to believe! I got some of my color back!
she wailed at me. A large cop with a surly disposition grabbed my arm. "Leave the area, civilian. This is an official matter," he growled at us. 3910 North by 12050 West. I'm positive that's what she said. Her eyes were blue, the most beautiful blue. I felt such a rush thinking about those eyes.
It's gotta be chords, right?
Megan asked as she loaded into a frugal globe on her laptop.
Mother Mary help us.
Her voice trembled as she turned the laptop screen to face me. The cursor was orange and green. No, it wasn't her cursor. A green and orange patch of forest, only a few meters across, beamed hope from the otherwise gray satellite imagery. "We have to go. Like now," I blurted out. Megan's face burst into a smile. We turned onto a crappy dirt road somewhere outside of Secret Town, deep in the Tahoe National Forest. If it weren't for all the gray, it would be such a beautiful area. The road dead-ended about 2 miles down. We would have to walk the rest of the way. A man in forest ranger clothes approached us. His mannerisms were jerky and consistent with someone who really needed to pee. "Hey, there, I'm Ranger Dave. You can't go down there right now. There's a sinkhole." His voice was strange. It jerked every few syllables and had absolutely no inflection at all. I wasn't sure he even knew what he was saying. It was mechanical and sloppy at the same time. "Can you stop us?" I challenged. Nothing was going to get in our way. "No, but I must insist. There is a lot of, strange stuff happening in the woods. It's not, safe." His neck yanked his head back and forth like an irregular pendulum. Megan tipped her head and began walking away, ignoring the ranger. I followed, glancing over at the odd man. He followed behind, each step slightly misplaced due to his seizures. We had only made it a couple of yards when a man holding a leash stepped out from a large manzanita bush to our left. "You have to help me, my dear sweet..." He paused, searching for the word. Doggy has gone missing. Would you please help me find her. His grin was artificial, like a used car salesman putting the works on some unfortunate single mom.
Dude, fuck off. Both of you.
Megan's yell shocked my brain into realization. Something was seriously wrong. "We gotta go. These aren't people," I yelled. My legs picked up the pace to a light jog. We could hear a woman up ahead, screaming a name.
"Johnny, my dear lost son, where are you?"
The woman was petite and wore large horn-rimmed glasses. Her head whipped around and her face mechanically dropped to a grimace.
"Have you seen my son? He is lost out here. Please, you must have seen him. You don't need to go over there. We can go over there after we find my son."
The choppy cadence was exactly like the others, who followed behind us, twitching and stumbling. We ran past her without so much as an apology. I could hear her behind us, yelling my son every few seconds.
"My son."
We both ran hard, harder than I thought possible. We could taste the color in the air, something like the electric charge of ionized air. A blur of gray rode up next to me, holding my pace. It was a jogger, complete with 80s sweatbands. I'd imagine his short shorts and tank top were some vibrant neon color if we weren't stuck in the gray. "Hey, buddy, remember me?" Oh shit, I did remember him. He was the jogger I'd seen in the woods weeks ago.
"My son."
The one I scared with all my nonsense color talk. "I've been rethinking it. You're right, there is color. It's not that way, though. It's some other direction." We ignored him as we continued closer to our destiny. Without warning, he sped up to an impossible speed, easily overtaking us. Our paces slowed, unsure of what happens next. He made it 100 yards ahead, and swiftly came to a dead stop. He looked at us, and then at his right leg, and then at us again.
"My son."
His spasming hands gripped his leg, one on each side of his knee, and with a violent burst of strength he snapped his knee, forcing his leg to bend sideways. His face did not change. His tone did not change. "Hey guys, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Can you carry me back to the road?" He lay down on the ground, his leg bent at unnatural angles. big, sinister grin still on his face. We ran around him, giving him a wide berth. In front of us was the most beautiful sight, a grove of green, waving pine trees, and in the center of them soil, brown and red textures mixed together in a beautiful slurry of the organic and mineral. A large boulder leaned precariously over a fissure in the ground. Out of the dark crevasse oozed color. Pure color. Like ink splashed into water, the mesmerizing reds and chartreuse bled into the air, swirling around and around. The crazy twitchies caught up with us, the last of which to arrive was the jogger, dragging his Z-leg on the ground behind him. The ranger was the first to speak, or should I say scream. Gone was the voice of neutrality, and in its place, pure, inhuman desperation.
Look over here! Look what I'm doing! You have to stop me!
His thumbs shoved deep into his eye sockets, pushing his eyes outward. He pulled hard and evicted the 2 optical grapes from their home. Blood poured from his eye sockets. His hands squeezed closed. The noise of a mini-layer lasagna getting manhandled by a rather upset gorilla made my stomach flip.
You have to stop me! Look what I'm doing!
The jogger screamed. His tone was no longer flat. It was filled with rage and sounded strange, like multiple voices all happening at once, sort of choirish growling. He had tackled the lady with the lost kid and was repeatedly chewing large chunks of flesh from her face.
You gotta stop me!
Came the terrible demonic voice between bites. When that didn't work, he gripped the woman's throat and began to strangle her. His eyes bulged wildly out of his skull. He was squeezing hard, but the woman wasn't really reacting. She just looked at us, hoping to keep us from the fissure in the ground.
My son! All you have to do is come over here, and I won't kill her.
The demon said from behind us. We had reached the fissure and could feel its pull. The colors swirled around our heads, tempting us to jump into the void. Do we jump? I asked, looking at Megan for answers. Don't do that, came a faint demon voice, which we ignored. Megan nodded and jumped. I followed, but just as I leapt, a demon's hand grabbed my ankle, its claws digging deep into my skin. The creature had shed its skin, revealing its true form. A scaly little reddish imp with cruel claws and terrible teeth. A hand reached through the fissure. It was fleshy tan, and so beautiful. Its presence opposed the vile putty of a hand that held my ankle. The disjointed human hand ripped the demon off my leg, and then pulled me hard by my shirt collar. There she was. Dark long hair, sharply defined green eyes set on a background of light blue and swirls of brown. The world had returned to its glory. The sky shimmered with light, and the mountains cast dark shadows across the green forest. Her glowing red lips smiled down at me. We made it back somehow. I looked at the fissure, which slowly emitted puffs of gray and black smoke, which dissipated into the air. We made it, I said, fighting back tears of joy. Megan knelt down beside me and kissed me on the cheek. Her tears mixed with my own as our cheeks connected. The world is colorful, but empty besides us two. Best we can figure, they took everyone into the gray underworld. Perfect punishment for a lifetime of being human. God's middle finger to humanity. I have a tickle somewhere deep in some dusty corner of my brain. A warning that maybe one day those demons will come out to find us. Another disturbing fable for the archive. Thank you for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this week's fable, please subscribe and leave us a review. Ghoul kibble is a specialty item and very hard to source, so anything helps. Until next week, bye-bye.